we had a team in Mexico. We were invited to Mexico, which is our neighbor, but maybe not so close to you, by a group of people who were sort of connected to the Zapatistas, but refused to fight. They didn't want to have guns. So that was a natural connection for us, because we were also into nonviolence. And they wanted us to just walk with them because they were being targeted, especially by military and paramilitary groups. In 1999, while they were in worship in a central location, 49 of their people were gunned down by a paramilitary group. It was an enormous explosion, and their sense of disaster was just enormous throughout the community. Now this is a group of about somewhere between 20 and 25,000 people, and so we were with them for several years, from 99 to 2004. And we did a lot of walking through the mountains with them. We walked with them, went with them to Mexico City for them to tell their story. We did a lot of things together with them. One year, they asked us to join them in a Lenten fast. Now I know all of you fast at Lent, is that right? Yeah, this is, I think of Ireland, as a Christian, So, good. And so this is not new to you. Anyway, they have a special way of praying there. I mean, it's none of these short prayers. I mean, it's at least 20 minutes and it's on your knees. And every 4 hours. That means 12 o'clock noon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock at night, midnight, 4 a.m., 8 a.m. Yeah, this is serious stuff. This is not this easy stuff. And okay, we agreed. We had a nice team there, and I think everybody spoke Spanish and so forth, and we kicked off this fast, and the people, it actually got the attention of the Mexican media, and groups of university students had come down, and they'd find, this is way off in the hills. I mean, this is not in the main town. This is off. It's hard to get there. People were coming from all over Mexico to kind of see these folks who were fasting and these weird gringos who were with them. And they helped us, and we built a little campsite right outside the military base with a cornfield in the background. Corn for the Mayan people it's an important part of their tradition. And we had worked with them to plant that corn. And so we had this tent, and we had this, it was a prayer tent. And so every 4 hours for 6 weeks, we were on our knees there. And it was wonderful, really. I mean, it was just fantastic. It's a little chilly in the morning. I mean, yeah. But anyway, it was great. And finally, they brought this together as Easter came. And on the day before Easter, Saturday before Easter, they had a grand festival, and people came from all of their refugee camps and villages, thousands of people. Really, it was a magnificent sight. These folks walking down the mountains to this place where this little military base was, and they were going to have a festival. Now the Mexican military, they were a kind of a civic action group too, and they had doctors and they had dentists and other specialists to provide assistance. That these folks would not accept one piece of candy from the military. I mean, these folks knew how to do it. They knew how to draw the line. And as that day unfolded, their leaders would come, and the military would come out, and then they'd have kind of a little discussion. It was kind of very polite and firm. Let's put it that way. You all know what a polite and firm discussion is. So, and this went on, and then there was lots of food and mass that went on, I don't know how many hours. I mean, it was as long as I needed. Anyway, it went on for a long time, way into the night. And anyway, so we finally got to bed at our tent there. Of course, we had to get up again to pray. And finally, Easter morning, we can, 8 o'clock, the thing's over, we can pray for the last time. And so we go over and then we have breakfast and we look down and they had painted the helicopter site where the supply site for the Mexican Army, and they put it this magnificent Mayan sun, and they painted the whole thing. It was really it was a powerful experience to be with them through this. And later in the day, the military tore up the site and destroyed the sun and so forth, but it had kind of a wisp of resurrection, just a wisp of resurrection. Anyway, so that's one kind of thing that a Christian Peacemaker team can do. And they actually were able to win their struggle. They eventually were able to return to their coffee fields and so forth. And I see here, as I go from place to place, there's fair trade coffee, and some of it comes from their fields. And their fields had to be abandoned. Their trees had to be abandoned, and it's a big job to get those coffee trees back online again.